I welcome Anjana ma'am to convey the introductory speech.
Anjana ma'am. Just excuse me for that 1 minute. Let me check.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Extremely sorry, sir, for the inconvenience. There was a small network glitch. So, good morning to all respected dignitaries and participants. So, creation of wealth. So, creation of wealth is definitely a dream which we all have. But how will we create this wealth? Most of us keep on dreaming about wealth creation, but some of us will definitely learn about the tools of wealth creation. So it is here that the Department of Business Management, with Association of Mutual Funds in India, is organizing this national webinar on wealth creation through personal financial management. First of all, I would like to welcome our honorable resource person, Sri Suryakant Sharma. Mr. Sharma is a commerce graduate and has a master's degree in law with specialization in corporate law. He is also a chartered associate of the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. He has around 35 years of experience in the banking and finance and securities market. And initially, he served in a leading financial institution. Thereafter, in the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Indian government, and finally in the SEBI for more than 15 years. Mr. Sharma joined SEBI in 2003 and served there for more than 16 years in different departments. He was DGM in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI's Northern region for more than 5 years. He is also a member of the working group of NCRT for developing vocational courses for mutual funds for the students of 11th and 12th classes, and also one of the mentor of few NGOs working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. So in 2019, he joined AMFI as a senior consultant for spreading investor awareness among citizens. Sir, we are extremely lucky to have you here for this webinar. Sir, I welcome you to this program. Now, I would like to welcome Mr. Manu Antony, Head of the Department of Business Management and the convener of this program. Sir, I welcome you. Now, I would like to welcome all the faculties of the Department of Business Management and the wonderful participants who have joined us here for showing keen interest in joining for this national webinar. So on the behalf of the entire department, I welcome you all for this program. Thank you.
Now, I welcome the resource person, Mr. Suryakant Sharma, to convey the knowledge and insights. Sir,
Thank you,
the floor is
Mishba.
all yours.
Thank you, Mishba, for giving me opportunity, and thank you very much. I am very happy to see young people like you who have some interest in the money. Yes, and you want to know something about the personal finance management and wealth creation. I am also thankful to Anjana ma'am and Mr. Antony and all your faculty members and staff members who have taken pain to organize this program for your college, and happy that a good number of faculty members and students have joined. I am
Yes, sir.
thankful to all of you.
Yes, sir. We are
But
also thanking on behalf of all of us. Pleasure is all ours.
Thank you. But before I start my session, I just want to make 2-3 things clear here. Firstly, this program is from Association of Mutual Funds in India, which is an apex body of mutual funds in India. But I want to make it very clear, Anjana ma'am and Mr. Antony and to Mishab as well, this is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual fund. It's purely an investor awareness program. And there are 2 categories of investor, Anjana ma'am, you will appreciate. One category of investors like you and Mr. Antony, who are already earning. But there are other category of investors like Mishab, who had not yet started earning. I presume she's a student, but she's going to earn very soon, down the line in 1 or 2 years. So they are equally important for all of us, and they are potential investors. So we should focus not only on you, Mr. Antony, but also on Vishab as well. And secondly, as this program is for the participants, I will request particularly students like Mishab and all other students, if I can't request, of course, Mr. Antony and Anjana ma'am, but if they wish, but a student particularly, please have a notebook and pen with them so that you can note down anything they found, new idea or a new information in my session, which you can explore, Mishab, through Google and websites. You will appreciate now we are flooded with the information on social media and Google and website, everything is available. So these programs are basically sensitized programs, just to sensitize individuals that personal finance management is very, very important. Thirdly and lastly, Mishab, I will be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that you have taken interest, you have some interest in the subject. And I don't think you have been forced to join the program by your faculty members that you please join just to muster the numbers or just to increase the number. I think that is not the case. Students are equally keen to know about the subject. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I will like to make it interactive, Anjana ma'am. It will not be a one-way traffic. I speak and go. I will try to involve all of you. And of course, I will taking names of Anjana ma'am, Mr. Antony and Mishab as well during my session. The purpose of it just to involve all of you in the session, and it should not be a one-way traffic. So one basic question, Anjana ma'am, I want to ask you before I start my session, because I will build my session on your answer. What is the importance of money in our life? Why we are so passionate about the money? Why it is so? Mishab is also smiling, and everybody knows that money is very important in our life. But why we give so much importance to the money in our life? Firstly. Secondly, what are 2 main sources of money in our life? 2 main sources. Can you tell me? Can you just tell me?
First one is, money is very important for us because we are always anxious about our future. So we always want to save something for the future. That is one of the reasons why we always want give importance to money. That is the first thing. Second thing is, with respect to sources of money, we have different sources now through which we can earn money. Like we have internal sources as well as external sources. So that will be my answer.
Thank you. Thank you. You are nearby what I wanted from you. Anjana ma'am and Mr. Antony, you will appreciate that money is most important thing in our life. Money is not God, but is not less than God. We normally talk on these terms. So because without money, we can't live even. For every step, we need money. So money is very, very important in our life. So broadly, Mr. Antony, what money gives us? Money gives us 2 basic things in our life. Anjana ma'am, you might agree with me. Firstly, money gives us prosperity. And prosperity includes 3 stages. First, please understand. prosperity includes three stages. First stage is money takes care of our basic needs. Roti, kapda, makan, basic needs. When I hardly have any money, Anjana ma'am, the first thought which will come in our mind is that my basic needs should be met. I should get the house, shelter, basic clothing and these things. So first thing is money takes care of my basic needs. But Anjana ma'am, when my basic needs are met, I will not stop there. It is human nature. Then I will think of having some comfort in my life. Little bit comfort. I should have a reasonable house. I should have a four-wheeler. I should have a basic amenities at my home. So then I will think about the comfort. But Anjana ma'am, when I develop these comforts, even when I will not stop. Again, this is the human nature. Then I will think of having some luxuries in my life. I will dream of having palatial house. I will dream of having a costly car. Every costly equipments and appliances I would like to have at my home and at my disposal. So money gives us three things as far as prosperity is concerned: basic needs, comfort, and luxuries. And Anjana ma'am, money also gives us one very, very other important thing in our life, which Mr. Antony, I think, and Mr. Antony will agree with me, that money also gives us security. Money also gives us, when Anjana ma'am will have 100 crore in her bank account one day, she will definitely feel secure. No, Baba, no, I have got 100 crore in my bank account. Of course, Anjana ma'am is smiling because 100 crore is a very big amount. We all know as far as in middle class, salary class person goes. But every individual aspire and work hard for developing security for himself, herself, and family. That is very natural, Mr. Antony. So money gives us two very basic things. First is prosperity, and second is security. But security will develop in our life only when we have plenty of money. And Anjana ma'am, you were smiling when I mentioned about 100 crore rupees, because we all know that 100 crore we will not have, at least through job and services. Of course, through startup, through business, we might have, but we wouldn't be having that much of money in our life. So the basic question arises before all of us is how we can have security in our life. Because every individual wants security first. Why, Mr. Antony? Because life is pretty uncertain. Today we are talking to each other, we can see each other, we are comfortable, our family is going on, everything is going well. But Mr. Antony, are you sure what will happen tomorrow? Are you sure? Nobody is sure. Nobody is sure. That is why this fear of uncertainty, Anjana ma'am, always is back of our mind. Always back of our mind. And not only on back of our mind, but also in the mind of our family members. And to overcome that fear, Anjana ma'am, we should develop security in our life. And I personally feel that we should first think about security, then about prosperity. So first we should develop security. How we can develop, a middle class, salary class person can develop security in their life. Vishab, you will agree with me that developing security is a must in our life, or rather it should be a priority even before prosperity. So how we can develop security, Mr. Antony? I know there are some internet problems, but if possible, if you keep your videos on, I will be more comfortable connecting with you. If possible, if possible. So Mr. Antony, for a middle class, salary class person, every earner must have do these three things in his or her life before starting the journey of prosperity. And these three things are relating to your security only, Mr. Antony. I want to make it very clear. It is not related to your prosperity, Anjana ma'am. First, I am talking about the security only. So every individual develop these three things in their life before embarking upon the journey of prosperity. The first and foremost thing which every earner must have, and Vishab, you should also understand what I am saying now. Of course, it may not be relevant to you at this stage, but down the line when you start earning, it will become very much pertinent and relevant. So the first thing, yes. Anjana ma'am, which every earner must have is, they should have adequate life insurance cover. Every earner must have life insurance cover. Naturally, Mr. Anthony will ask me, sir, why we should have life insurance cover? Definitely, this question is very valid. So my answer is very simple, Mr. Anthony, that life is pretty uncertain. Today, everything is going well, but tomorrow what will happen, nobody knows. So if something happens, Sanjana ma'am, and I am not available to my family tomorrow, and more so when I am the sole earner in the family, I am the only person earning for the bread of the for my family, what will happen to my family? You can imagine how much difficult it will be for them to manage their life in my absence. That is why I should take adequate life insurance cover, that in case I am not available to my family tomorrow, Mr. Anthony, my family should not have at least financial problem. Of course, emotional problem will be there, social problem will be there, that will be there. But my family should not suffer financially, because the next question, big question before them will be how family affairs will be managed, how the education of the children will be taken care of. All these things, how will be done. That is why I keep telling in my session that every earner must develop adequate life insurance cover. And here again, Mr. Anthony, what should be the adequacy? Normally, people do take life insurance cover. I don't know whether Mr. Anthony and Anjana ma'am has taken life insurance cover. But we do take life insurance cover, but mostly it is grossly inadequate, Mr. Anthony. We might have taken life insurance cover of 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh. That is not adequate, my dear Mr. Anthony. Please do understand it. It has to be adequate. And what is the definition, or what is the broad criteria of adequacy? Please note it down if you wish to note it down. Your life insurance cover, Mr. Anthony, should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. It should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Suppose, Mr. Anthony, your annual income is 20 lakhs. Suppose, we presume it. Then how much you should life insurance you should have, Mr. Anthony? You should have not less than 2 crore rupees life insurance cover. And I don't think you have taken that level of life insurance cover. But that is a must. And nowadays, Mr. Anthony, very good insurance product is available in the market, which are not available in my time at least. That name is term insurance. Anjana ma'am, TERM, term insurance. Term insurance is a pure insurance product, Mr. Anthony, where you can take an adequate life insurance cover by paying a very paltry sum of money. But if you go for the money back and endowment life insurance cover, Anjana ma'am, the premium will be much higher. That will be beyond your means. That is why term insurance is a pure insurance product. And I keep advising young participants, particularly like Anjana ma'am and Mr. Anthony, please take life insurance, adequate life insurance cover through term insurance. If your age is between 25 to 30 years, Anjana ma'am, you can take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 400 or 500 rupees, which you can afford. And here again, the basic funda of insurance, Anjana ma'am, is early you take, lesser will be the premium. Because the premium of the life insurance cover, Mr. Anthony, is related to your age. It is connected to your age. So if you keep deferring the decision of taking life insurance cover after 5, 10 or 15 years, Mr. Anthony, then premium will be much higher and you wouldn't be able to take adequate life insurance cover. That is why please do take adequate life insurance cover, and that to take at the start of your career. And one thing I want to make it very clear, Mr. Anthony, insurance is not an investment. Unfortunately, in our country, still insurance is being sold as insurance product, because that is made out to be a saving linked scheme. But Anjana ma'am, insurance is not an insurance or investment product, my dear Mr. Anthony. Please keep investment and insurance separate. Keep it separate. Take insurance cover, pure insurance cover, but it should not be linked to your saving, because there are other products where you can make better savings, better returns. So please keep insurance. But again, Mr. Anthony, insurance is a must. I am not belittling the importance of insurance. It is very essential. But please please keep insurance and investment separately. So first, I want to request all of you, please take adequate life insurance cover when you start earning. Second request I want to make, Mr. Anthony, to all young participants like you, and Bishop also, you to understand. Every family must have adequate health insurance cover, Mr. Anthony. Naturally, Mr. Anthony now may ask me, what is the use of having health insurance cover when I have taken life insurance cover? My dear friend, Acharya sir will agree with me. Life insurance cover is different and health insurance cover is different. Both are different. Life insurance cover, Acharya sir, we take just to take care of uncertainty which prevailing in our life, that in case something happens to me, my family should get a good and rather very good amount on which they can survive. And health insurance cover we take, Mr. Anthony, that in case some medical emergency happens in my life, all of a sudden some serious disease disappear, or I might met with an accident, where I will go, Mr. Anthony, I will be forced to go to the best private hospital, because unfortunately I don't know about Kerala much, Acharya sir, but in most of the other parts of the country, governmental health system is not up to mark. Unfortunately, it has to be, it ought to be, but it is not. That is why we will be forced to go to the private hospitals. But in private hospital, Mr. Anthony, the problem is different. Their charges are exorbitant. If a person remain in a private hospital, Acharya sir, for 10 or 15 days, the private hospital will raise a bill of not less than 10 lakhs or even more than that. From where that money will come? That is why to overcome that problem, we should take adequate health insurance cover. And the purpose of health insurance cover is very simple. Sanjay ji, please mute all the participants except Mr. Anthony and Anjana ma'am.
Okay, so please unmute yourself.
So we should take adequate health insurance cover, Mr. Anthony. The purpose of health insurance cover is very simple, that in case some disease discovered in my body, or I might met with an accident, then I can go to the best available hospital nearby, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. All your medical expenses of the private hospital will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital, to the extent you have taken health insurance cover. Naturally, that is there. If you have taken health insurance cover up to 10 lakhs, naturally insurance company will pay up to 10 lakhs only. So please do take adequate health insurance cover. And nowadays, Mr. Anthony, a very good health insurance policy is available in the market. That policy name is Floater Health Insurance Cover, FLOATER, Floater Health Insurance Cover. It is also called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. The peculiarity of this health insurance cover is that when I take this health insurance cover, I have got the leverage of adding my spouse name, my kids' name, and even my parents' name in that policy. So in one singular floater health insurance cover, all members of the family are covered as far as health issues are concerned. And this is a unique policy, that in one singular policy, all members of the family are covered. So please do consider taking adequate health insurance cover. And if you are in a metro city, then ideally your family should have a health insurance cover of not less than 25 lakhs. But if your family is in two-tier or three-tier cities, then you can take a life insurance cover of around 10 lakhs for your family. Second request, Mr. Anthony, is please do take adequate health insurance cover. That is, again, I am still up to security only, Mr. Anthony. I am not touched prosperity at all. The third and last thing which I want to request all of you is, please do develop an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs. Naturally, Anjana ma'am and Mr. Anthony will ask me, sir, what is the purpose of having an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs? Mr. Anthony, you are well aware this corona has taught us hundreds of lessons. This has changed our life altogether. We had never dreamed that such situation will come when we will be confined to our home for months together. And more so, in corona, Mr. Anthony, you might be very lucky, but in corona, lakhs of people had lost their job. You must be aware. Lakhs of people had got substantial reduction in their salaries and businesses were closed, professions were closed. So lakhs of families have passed through a very, very tough time as far as financial matters are concerned, because they had not predicted it. They had not thought that this time will come, then they will be confined to their homes and they wouldn't be having any income for months together. That is why this corona has taught very important lesson, Anjana ma'am, that firstly, this corona has still not gone. And secondly, Mr. Anthony, this corona has taught us that a new disease or a new virus may come in future and the same situation may recur. So for taking care of our basic needs during that stressful period, every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 lakh, that in case some financial stress develop in our life in future because of some disease or virus or any other thing, then I am able to manage my family affairs, family expenses minimum for 8 months to 1 year. That is the purpose of having an emergency fund. And I appreciate, Mr. Anthony, that 5 lakh is not a small amount for all of us. It is a reasonable amount for all. But we can develop it over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 7 years. But once we develop it, we have to make a promise with ourselves that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose except emergencies. That commitment and discipline has to be developed with us. So third and last thing I have just mentioned is develop an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs. And my dear participants, after developing or after doing these 3 things in your life, I again repeat, adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover for the family, and an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs, Mr. Anthony, we should naturally think about the prosperity now. Naturally, because first once we have developed security, then we should think about the prosperity aspect. So what is prosperity? We have just discussed taking care of our needs and desires. And Mr. Anthony, can you tell me what is the main source of money for all of us? What is the main source? Can you tell me?
For me, it's salary, sir.
Absolutely. For not only for you, for most of the salary class persons, people like you and me, salary is the main source of money. And what we do with the salary, Mr. Anthony, every month we get, majority for my salary goes into taking care of my basic needs, my family expenses, majority of it. Rental, grocery, education of children, a lot of other things happening in our life. So a majority of our income goes into taking care of our basic needs. But Mr. Anthony, you must be aware that all Indians have a typical DNA, unique DNA rather. What is that? Are you aware, sir? That DNA is every Indian sincerely try to take away some money out of their regular income which they don't spend. Every Indian tries. May he be earning 10,000 or may he be earning 10 lakhs. Every Indian and every family, Anjana ma'am, you will agree with me, tries to take away some money out of their regular income. And the money which we don't spend, otherwise we could have spent, Mr. Anthony. We have got a lot of pressure, lot of even needs and desires. But the money which we don't spend out of regular income, what we call it, Mr. Anthony? It is called savings. It is called savings. So we are all savers. We all sincerely try. We all, and Mr. Anthony, you must be aware, we Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. We as a community, we as a country, still one of the best savers in the world. So we do save. So saving is in our blood. We do save. But one thing lacks here. And one issue is there with most of us. I don't know whether it is with Mr. Antonio or not, but with most of us it is there. What is that? We do save, Mr. Anthony, we do try to save some money, but we are very casual about saving. Casual in the sense that this month I might be saving 5,000, next month it might be 8,000, third month it might be 10,000, fourth month it might be even 2,000, and fifth month it may even be 0. So we are casual. Of course, there are reasons for that casuality. I'm not saying that you by nature are casual, but still we are casual. So first thing I want to request all participants and Mishab also to understand it very carefully. We should identify an amount which we can comfortably save every month. And Anthony sir, I am not prescribing anything. Normally people do prescribe, save 20%, save 20% or 30%, save 40% of your income. I am not prescribing anything. What I am saying, Mr. Anthony, you please decide what you can save. I am leaving it to you. Because suppose you say that your monthly income is 50,000 and your expenses your monthly expenses are around 40,000. What you indirectly saying is that you can save 10,000 a month. Then, Mr. Anthony, my request is very simple but emphatic. Please do save this 10,000 upfront. The moment you get salary, take it away, as if you have not got it. I know it is difficult. It is not an easy task. But Mr. Anthony, it is not impossible. It is possible. The only precondition is that we should develop some discipline. We should have some commitment that come what may, I will save this amount. This commitment and discipline has to be developed over a period of time. And once you develop it, and once you start regularly saving this particular amount, maybe more than that, that is your choice. But at least the amount which you have decided, you have identified, you must save every month. This is first my request, come what may. Come what may. Second thing is, please keep increasing your saving minimum by 10%. Again, how it is possible, Mr. Anthony, you are aware, because every year we get increment. If we are in service, we get increment, we get DNS allowance, we get some other allowances, we get increase our income every month, every year. So with the increase in income, we must increase our saving minimum by 10%. Suppose this year you are saving 10,000 a month, then next year, Mr. Anthony, it has to be 11,000 a month minimum. Minimum. More, it is your choice, but it should be minimum 11,000 a month. And Mishab, Mishba, third year it should be 12,100. So every year you must keep increasing your saving, Mishba, when you start earning. So please identify an amount of saving and then keep increasing your saving every year. The two things are basic and fundamental things for your prosperity. Mr. Anthony, it might look very normal things. Okay, no problem, we will do it. No, Mr. Anthony, these two very small things are going to change your life forever, rest assured. If you religiously follow these two things in your life, there will be least financial problem in your life. So please do consider these two things as far as savings are concerned. Now, the second question, Mr. Anthony, which comes in our mind after once we start saving, what to do with the savings? What to do? Whatever we are saving, what to do? There are two options, Mr. Anthony, with all of us. The first option, which a foolish people like me will only do, is I am saving some amount every month religiously. But what foolishly I am doing, Mr. Vishab, I am taking away the money from my bank account where I get salary of my saving amount, counting that money, feel happy, and that keeping that amount in my box at home, or just leaving that amount in my bank account. If anybody is doing that practice, Mr. Antony, please stop it at one. And Mishwa, you and other student must not never do this practice in your life, because it is a gross injustice to ourselves, to our family, and to our country as a whole. So please stop doing this practice at once, and never do, Mishwa and all students in your life. Naturally, then Mr. Antony will ask, then what to do? Yes, sir, there is another option. And the option is, Mr. Antony, we should put our money in, number one, into some assets, value of which will increase in future. We should put our savings into some acquisition of some asset, value of which will increase in future, and we can put our money in some financial instrument which will give us regular and periodical return in future. Mr. Antony, the process of putting your savings into some assets or in financial instrument, what we call it, sir? You are a management professor. It is called investment. It is called investment. So saving is the first step and investment is the second step. And Anjana ma'am, both are correlated, because if you save and don't invest, then the purpose of saving will be defeated. And what you will invest if you don't save? So first, of course, we have to be saver, but then we have necessarily to be an investor as well. So we should not only be saver, Mr. Antony, but we should also be investor, because of the simple reason, Mr. Antony, that only investment will create wealth. Please do understand it very carefully. Savings are not going to create wealth for you. Only Mishwa, only investment are going to create wealth for you. So we have to be investor. And Anjana ma'am, you all know we are all investor as well. Those who are earning, you must be investing your money somewhere, one or other product. So we are all investors as well. But unfortunately, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not, Anjana ma'am. Unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person like you and me, majority, vast majority, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, Anjana ma'am, they just remain money accumulators in their life. They don't become wealth creators. Please understand what I am carefully, Mishwa, what I am saying. Most of the middle class, salary class person, despite their best efforts in saving and investment, they just remain money accumulators. They don't become wealth creators. And Mishwa, unless and until you become wealth creators, you will not be prosper. It is interlinked. So you have to be saver, you have to be investor, and an investment must create wealth for you. But unfortunately, most of us just remain money accumulator. And top of it, Anjana ma'am, most of us don't accept it that we are money accumulators. Arey no Baba, no, I am not money accumulator. Mr. Antony will say, Anjana ma'am might be a money accumulator, I am wealth creator. Anjana ma'am will again say, no, I am not, Antony might be. So this is the other problem with most of the middle class, salary class person, that most of us are money accumulators, but we don't accept that we are money accumulators. So first, Mr. Antony, we should understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And for that, Mr. Antony, I want to give just share you one simple, very simple example to all of you. And for that example, Mr. Antony, please permit me to take your name in that example. Please permit me. That is a very simple example.
Yes, sir, please.
Example I have taken, Mr. Antony, is bank fixed deposit, bank FD. Why I have taken Mishba, that example? Because even students are aware about the bank. Mishba, you are aware about the bank FD, na? Bank fixed deposit. Your parents must have done some bank FD. So I am taking the example of bank FD. Suppose, Mr. Antony, you have got 1 lakh rupees with you. Of course, you have got much more than that, but just for example's sake, I take that you have got 1 lakh rupees with you. And you go for a 1 year bank FD with a good bank, very good, reputed bank. And Mr. Anthony, you will appreciate that the present rate of interest on FD is around 6%. Around 6, we take it 6, maybe 5.5, maybe 5.75, but we take it 6%. So you go for a bank FD for 1 year at the rate of 6% bank interest. After 1 year, myself and Anjana ma'am meet you and just ask you, what happened to your FD, Mr. Anthony? Mr. Anthony is very happy. He says that bank has given me 6,000 rupees as bank interest. Am I right, sir? Bank has given me 6,000 rupees as bank interest and money has been given back to me. My 1 lakh rupees has been given back by the bank plus 6,000 rupees has been given as bank interest. And Mr. Anthony is very happy. When I asked Mr. Anthony, are you right, sir? Mr. Anthony might get annoyed. He said, yes, I'm absolutely right. What is wrong with you asking this question? You can see my passbook. I have got 6,000 credit as a bank interest income plus 1 lakh rupees has been given back by the bank. Mr. Anthony, you are right, but you are not right. You are right because you got 6,000 rupees definitely. But then you are not right. Then you are not right. Why? Because you unintentionally ignored two very important factors while analyzing return on your investment. Mr. Anthony, FD is also an investment. You will appreciate. FD is also an investment. So you unintentionally ignored two very important factors. The first and foremost factor, which we normally ignore, but we must not ignore, that is inflation. We talk about the inflation day in, day out, Mr. Anthony, nowadays. Inflation rate is very high nowadays. Everybody talks about inflation. Food prices have increased. Grocery items have become much more costlier. All these things we talk about in, day out. But we don't take into account the factor of inflation while analyzing return on it. And Mr. Anthony, simply speaking, what is inflation? Tell me. Can you tell me what is inflation? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Am I right, sir? Inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item and services over a period of time. So suppose last year when Mr. Anthony had got 1 lakh rupees, instead of going for bank FD, had he gone for purchasing some item or goods or might have availed some services from 1 lakh rupees, Mr. Anthony, would you be able to purchase same item, same goods and same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Mr. Anthony, would you be able to purchase same item, same goods and same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Would it be possible? It will not be possible because of inflation. Prices have increased. Suppose the inflation rate has been 5% during this 1 year. Then what it simply means, Mr. Anthony? For the same item, same goods and same services which you could have purchased at 1 lakh rupees last year, Mr. Anthony will need to pay 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right, sir? You will need to pay 1,05,000 rupees for the same item, same goods and services. Now you see the proposition, Mr. Anthony. You are very happy that you got 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. But Mr. Anthony, in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Please do understand very carefully, Anjana ma'am. And Mishwa, you also understand it very, very carefully. Out of 6,000 you earn as bank interest, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. But still Mr. Anthony is happy. He said, no problem. Let 5,000 eaten by the inflation, but still I have got 1,000 rupees out of 6,000. Yes, Mr. Anthony, you do have that 1,000 rupees. But here again, another factor is there, Mr. Anthony, which we normally ignore. And what is that factor, Mr. Anthony? Most of the income and return, you will appreciate, government takes income tax and capital gain or other taxes. So we have to pay taxes on most of the income and return. In the case of bank FD, Anjana ma'am, you might not be aware, but the rule as such is that you have to pay income tax on all your interest which you have earned on bank FD. The 10,000 exemption which normal income tax act allows for bank interest is related to your saving bank account, Anjana ma'am. It is not related to your bank FD. So whatever you earn as bank FD, you have to pay tax as per your slab. And suppose, Anjana ma'am, you are in 20% slab of income tax, then you will need to pay 20% on bank interest also. And now you can't avoid, Anjana ma'am, because of technology. All such information is automatically available with the income tax department. You will have to pay 20% income tax on your bank interest income of 6,000, and 20% of 6,000, what it is? It is 1,200 rupees. So, Mr. Anthony, you will have to pay income tax of 1,200 rupees as well. Now you can't avoid it. Now you see the proposition, Mr. Anthony, you were very happy when you earned 6,000 rupees in bank interest income. But in reality, Mr. Anthony, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and 1,200 you have to pay as income tax. Did you get anything, Mr. Anthony, in reality? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. 5,000 plus 1,200. So this is a proposition in most of the investments for middle class, salary class person. That is why we just remain money accumulators. We do accumulate money. We do get 6,000 rupees. But in reality, Vishnu Priya ma'am, Vishnu Priya, in reality, we got nothing. We got nothing. Out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and 1,200 rupees you have paid as income tax. You got nothing. That is why most of us remain money accumulators. And that is why, Anjana ma'am, we have to see very seriously that we don't become money accumulators. I take this example forward, Mr. Anthony. Suppose we presume that the interest rate is 8% on bank FDs. Suppose the presumption is there. Then Mr. Anthony will get 8,000 as bank interest income on the FD of 1 lakh rupees. Again, keeping inflation rate at 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation. Again, paying 20% tax or income tax on 8,000, that is 1,600. There still remain, Mr. Anthony, 1,400. That 1,400 is your real income, your real return. Anjana ma'am, please do understand these things very, very carefully. And not you and not Mr. and all participants. That unless and until we earn some real return or real income or our investments, we are just going to remain money accumulators. So we have to earn some real return definitely, necessarily, because only real return are going to create wealth for you. Please understand, there is an equation. Only real return is going to create wealth for you. So we should sincerely try to have some real return on our investment. And what is the formula of real return, my dear participant? If you wish to note it down, Vishwa and other student, and Vishnu Priya, you can note it down. The formula of real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, that is 5,000 we have presumed, minus tax liability, if any, that is 1,200 and 1,600. So in the first scenario, Mr. Anthony, you got nothing. Rather, you lost 200 rupees. In the second scenario, Mr. Anthony, you got real return of 1,400 rupees. And that 1,400, my dear participants, are going to create wealth for you. Please do understand. This 1400, because this real return only is going to create wealth for you. So we have to very sincerely try that all my investment must earn Meenakshi some real return. Now, naturally, we should think, what is the reason? What is the reason that most of the middle class, salary class person just remain money accumulators? Mr. Anthony, what is the reason? There has to be some reason, na? Because we are not fools. We are intellectuals. We are intelligent persons. But even after that, most of the middle class, salary class person just remain money accumulators. Why? What is the reason? Mr. Anthony, reason is there. Anjana ma'am, you might be knowing the reason. But the reason is there, and the reason is not somewhere outside. The reason lies, Mr. Anthony, in our mind. In your mindset. Most of the medical salary class people have a typical mindset. I'm not saying wrong or right, but they have a typical mindset. What is mindset, Mr. Anthony? Can you enlighten me? If you can enlighten, what is the mindset of most of the middle class salary, or Anjana ma'am, can you enlighten me? What is the mindset of most of the middle class salary class person? My dear participants, middle class, salary class person have a typical mindset. And that is, most of the middle class, salary class person don't want to take any risk in investment. Are no, Baba, no, we don't want any risk. Tell us something about safe investment. This is a normal chat box message when I start talking about the risk. A 1 or 2 message will automatically, Are Baba, sir, we don't want to take any risk. Tell us something about safe investment. But Yogesh Deore, sir, you may or may not agree with me. In most of the investment, risk is there, whether you accept it or not. It is a fact of investments. Most of the investment do have risk element. Please do understand very carefully. You like it or not, you accept it or not, that is your choice. But in most of the investment, Mr. Yogesh Devre and all participants, risk is there. There are hardly very few governmental small saving scheme, which we will discuss afterwards, where we don't have any risk. But most of the other investment products, risk is there. So please do understand that risk is there. Yes, risk is there. Whether you accept it or not, but risk is there. So please do accept. I want to tell Mr. Anthony and Anita Anjana ma'am, please do accept honestly that in most of the investment risk is there. Because your acceptance will pave way for your developing thinking that how I can manage my risk. Because that is very natural. Because once we accept that, okay, risk is there in the investment, then naturally my mind will ask how I can manage my risk. Naturally, it is very natural. My mind will say how I can minimize my risk. That question and that answer is very natural from my mind. Yes, my dear participants, I want to tell all of you very bluntly but honestly, please accept that in investment, accept some governmental small saving scheme. Risk is there, first. Second, we can manage your risk, but we can minimize your risk. Risk is there, but we can minimize your risk and we can manage your risk. That is also there. We can, absolutely, definitely I am telling you, we can manage your risk. We can minimize your risk, but at the same time, risk can never be zero, Mr. Anthony. Some degree of risk will always be there in investment, except some governmental risk. Again, I am not accepting because They are very few and far only. And at least governmental schemes are not going to make you prosper. They may be a safety wall. They may give you reasonable return. But for prosperity, you have to embark upon the journey of taking some risk. It is also a fact. So please do understand that in investment risk is there, but risk can be managed, risk can be minimized. It can, but still it can never be zero. But how we can minimize our risk? How we can manage our risk, Mr. Anthony? Can you enlighten me? We can manage our risk. We can minimize our risk by practicing a very simple two-word formula in our life. Very simple two-word formula. Please do understand. And the formula is only two-word formula. Very simple but very important formula. And this nothing going to happen by writing this formula on the paper, on the notebook. You will write it, you will forget it. This formula has to be written in mind, deep in your mind. And what is the formula? Two-word formula: think, understand, and invest. Mr. Anthony and Anjana ma'am, I have used only two words. First word is think, second word is understand, and third word, of course, is investment. Invest. The first word is think. What we have to think about ourselves. Mr. Anthony, we have to think two things about ourselves. We have to think two things about ourselves. The first is, what is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take in investments? What is my risk tolerance? It is even the same thing. What is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take? And Mr. Anthony, please do understand. And Mishwa, you should understand it also, that every individual has got different risk appetite. Every individual. Mr. Anthony has got different one. Anjana ma'am has got different one. Dr. Sanjay Agarwal has got different one. Everybody has got, myself has got different one. We have got different risk appetite. Why? Because we have got different level of income. We have got different level of expenditure. We have got different family obligations. Everybody has got different income. Everybody has got different expenditure. Everybody has got different family expenditure. So everything is different. So that is why you must always keep in mind, Mr. Anthony, we should never follow others while taking our investment decision. But we do. Unfortunately, we do. Most of us, we follow others. And that is a blunder, Mr. Anthony. Please do understand. That's a blunder. If we follow others on our investment decision, that's a blunder we are committing. Because if suppose Mr. Anthony is investing in some product, why I should follow him? Typically it happens. That is a herd community. We start following others. If some of your colleague is investing somewhere, Anjana ma'am will also think of investing because that colleague is very smart investor. But why Anjana ma'am should follow him or her? Because the risk appetite of that gentleman or madam is different than that of Anjana ma'am. So Anjana ma'am should never follow others while taking investment decision. Maybe their colleagues, maybe their friends, maybe their relations even. Because Anjana ma'am has got typical risk appetite. That is why the first most important thing is always take your investment decision strictly as per your individual risk appetite. And one more thing I want to tell you about risk appetite is, even individual's risk appetite, Anjana ma'am, is not a constant factor. It will not remain same for whole life. It will keep changing with the age, with the changes in our life cycle. So when you are young, you can take a risk. And Mr. Antony and Mr. Anjana ma'am and all other young faculty members even, I wish to encourage them to take a risk. You can take risk. Rather, you ought to take risk. Why? Why am I encouraging you? Because the basic funda of economics, Anjana ma'am, you must be knowing, more risk, more reward. If you take risk, then there is a probability of getting return, rather higher real return. It gives no guarantee, but still it gives probability that you might earn higher return, higher real return. So you should take your investment decision according strictly as per your risk appetite. This is your first request I want to make. And second thing is, your investment decision should be according to your time horizon. And time horizon is very, very important in investment. Normally, we don't give credence to such this very important aspect of investment, but it is very, very important. What is time horizon? What time horizon says is, we will need money in our life, not in one go, not at what time, but we will need money at different intervals in our life for our milestones. We will need money many times, huge money rather. Apart from regular expenses, even for milestones, we will need huge money in our life. That's why time horizon of investment becomes very, very important. And for that, Anjana ma'am, if you are there, and Mr. Antony, if you are there, I just want to ask you one very simple thing. Would you give me 1 hour next Sunday, Mr. Antony and Anjana ma'am, on all other young participants? Would you please give me 1 hour? I want 1 hour from all participants who are already earner. Mr. Anil Yadav, just wait for a while. I will take your question once my session is over. So please keep your hands down. So we can, next Sunday, just sit with your Shushmita, just keep your hand down. I will take your questions once my session is over. So next Sunday, Antony ma'am and Anjana ma'am, those all young faculty members even, and Mishwa also, you should understand what I am saying now. May not be relevant to you at this stage, but it will be relevant to you when you start earning. Next Sunday, sit with your all family members. Request your all family members to be with you. Sit with them. Request them to be with you. Take one paper and one pen. On the paper, make 3 columns. First column, second column, and third column. In the first column, Anjana ma'am, please note down all the milestones in your life. Please note down. And what are the common milestones in our life? Middle class, salary class life, Mr. Antony? Can you give me idea of what are the common milestones in our life? The first and foremost milestone in our life is marriage. Marriage is the first milestone. After that, next milestone might be birth of the children, celebration, natural celebration. Then after that, purchase of the house for the family, very natural, every family wants to have their own house. Then admission of the children in a good public school is again a very important milestone. Then purchase of the 4-wheeler for the family, that is very natural. We do think of on these terms when we start growing in our, when my family started growing. So after some time, one more milestone now has become very common, Mr. Antony, which was not in our times, but now it is common. That is going on vacations. Every family wants to go on vacation. You are in Kerala, but you will definitely like to go to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Northeast, Odisha, Bengal, naturally. And not only in India, beyond India also. Foreign tours. Naturally, family will like to go to Switzerland and America or a lot of other countries, African countries. So vacation has also become very important nowadays. Then after some time, some years, your children are grown up. What will be the next milestone, Jana ma'am? The next milestone would be higher education and professional education of children. That is very important milestone in our life. Every parents wish and sincerely try to make available best higher and professional education to their kids. Very natural. Every parents tries for that. So once their education, professional education is over, what will be the next milestone? Marriage to the children is the next important milestone in your life. Then last and most important, and one of the most important milestone in your life, Anjana ma'am, is living retirement life. That is also very important milestone in our life. And in retirement, what typically happens, Mr. Anthony? We don't get salary or regular income which we were getting when we were in job, we were in service. We don't get anything. And I don't know whether you are a government college, and even government now, pension is no more available. Apart, NPS is not a pension, that is earn your pension philosophy. So how you will survive in your retirement life and when you wouldn't be having regular income? How you will survive? Normally what we do for living retirement life, normally what we do, we accumulate huge corpus, we develop huge corpus through our savings and investment and add on our superannuation benefits which will be get at the time of retirement and develop a huge corpus. Invest that corpus with some investment products, particularly financial products, get some regular income and we survive. That is a way of living in normal, that is a normal way of living in retirement life. So you have to develop a huge corpus for your retirement life. Please do understand, Mr. Anthony and Anjana ma'am. You will have to develop a huge retirement corpus. And what should be retirement corpus? It should be not less than 10 times of your annual expenses. Can you understand what will be the annual expenses when you retire at 60? Suppose Anjana ma'am and suppose Mr. Anthony, you are 30 today and you say that my monthly expenses are around 30,000. You are managing your affairs with 30,000. After 30 years, when you become 60, Mr. Anthony, have you ever imagined what will be your monthly expenses? Because of inflation, Anjana ma'am, your monthly expenses at that time in the first year of your retirement at the age of 60 will not be less than 2 lakh rupees, which today is 30,000. 2 lakh rupees per month you will need for your retire in the first month of your retirement life. So what will be your annual expenses? Multiply it by 12, that it becomes around 24 lakhs, or take it 25 lakhs. 25 lakhs rupees you will need every year at the beginning of your retirement. From where that money will come? Normally, you should earn 25 lakhs return on your retirement corpus. Normally. So how much your retirement corpus should be? A thumb rule is there, Mr. Anthony. Your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. It should ideally be around 20 times. Multiply 25 lakhs by 20. What did it become, Mr. Anthony? It becomes 5 crore. So you should develop a retirement corpus of not less than 5 crore rupees, Mr. Anthony. And one more other very important factor which I just forgot to elaborate is the higher education and professional education of children. Mr. Anthony, can you tell me how much it costs a MBA degree from a reputed college today, or from a reputed institution today? Can you tell me? I just want to tell you one very basic thing, that today you need around 20 lakhs for a good MBA degree. But after 25 years, when your children will go for higher education, it will be not less than, आशीष जी मेरी भी प्रोग्राम चल रहा है, थोड़ी देर में करता हूं आपको मैं. It will be not less than 2 crore rupees, the MBA degree, which is costing around 20 lakhs today for 2-year MBA degree, Mr. Anthony. After 25 years, because you are very young, your children will go for higher education after 20-25 years. The same MBA degree will cost not less than 2 crore rupees. If you have got 2 children, Mr. Anthony, then you will need not less than 4 crore rupees only for the higher education and professional education of children. So now start putting in the first column, make that list of the milestone. In the second column, put the period when it is likely to happen in your life. Suppose you are not married and you say, I'm married after 2 years, I'm likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years against marriage. Likewise, but to the children, 3.5 years or 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. You start putting the period against each milestone. And in the last column, you start putting the money which you will need against all these milestones. And Anjana ma'am, you might get scary, but it is a fact that you and Mr. Anthony and all young faculty members and staff members who are around 30 will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees in your life for your milestones only. Please understand it. Only for your milestone, Anjana ma'am, you will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees. And I have excluded your regular expenses from 30 to 60. That I have excluded. From where that 10 to 12 crore rupees, Anjana ma'am, will come? I don't know. There is a popular show in Kerala, local TV channels, but in North there is a famous TV program, that Amitabh Bachchan show of KBC. So Anjana ma'am may go to the KBC, win 7 crore rupees, but then how many of us will win? Anjana ma'am may will, Mr. Anthony may will, but what about the others, lakhs of people? Yes, now I want to give you confidence to all of you, those who are young. You all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees in your life for your milestone, provided you start working right from today about your saving and investment. That is a must. That is a precondition. You must be very serious about your savings and investment right from the day, Vishwa, when you start earning. You should be regular in saving, and you should continue increasing your saving and putting your saving into the best investment product, earning maximum high return. So you all can have, provided you are serious about your saving and investment. And the chart which we have just prepared, Anjana ma'am, that is first column, second column, and third column. This chart is called financial plan. And I personally feel that every family must have their financial plan. It is a must for them, because financial plan gives you a broad target for your life, for your milestone. How much money you will need at what time. This is a broad picture which will be clear before you. So please do understand that financial plan is integral part of your investment success. And this is not a rocket science. Every family can make a financial plan. Just we discuss. So please do develop a financial plan for your family, because that will give you target oriented theory of investing your money. One more thing I want to tell about Anjana ma'am about investment is rule of compounding. And rule of compounding, Anjana ma'am, you must be knowing it is eighth wonder of the world. It is eighth wonder of the world. And in investment, rule of compounding is very simple terms. So what I can explain you, you have to make a promise with yourself. Whatever and whenever I will get some return or income on my investment, I will never use that return for my family purposes, for my celebration, or for my other obligation. I will simply club that return with my investment and reinvest it. That commitment and discipline has to be developed. You may get a return of 5,000 or 5 lakhs. It is immaterial. Whatever you get, whenever you get any return on your investment, you will never use that return or income for your family purposes or for your celebration or for your vacation. You will simply club that return with your regular return and reinvest it. And if you do it, Anjana ma'am, for 15, 20 years down the line, continuously, magic will happen in your life. Magic. I can assure you, all of you, magic will happen. Your return and income portion will be much bigger than your regular investment. But that will not happen today, Anjana ma'am. It will not happen tomorrow. It will happen after 15, 20 years. So in investment, patience is the key. You have to have patience for your money to grow, for your investment to grow, for your investment to earn real return. So please religiously follow rule of compounding in your investments. Last 15 minutes, Sanjana ma'am, we will discuss what are the products available for the middle class, salary class person where we can invest. That is equally important. Na? We should know what are the products available in the market where we can invest. Yeah. The first category of product available for the middle class, salary class person, Anjana ma'am, is governmental small saving scheme. Governmental small saving scheme. And in the governmental small saving scheme, first and foremost product available in the market, that is called Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. Anjana ma'am, I don't know whether you have opened an account in PPF or not. But if you have not opened, you have missed something. Please do open a PPF account immediately. And PPF account you should not open not only for you, but also for your spouse. Because PPF account is a very unique account, unique saving scheme of the Government of India. The PPF account can be opened, Anjana ma'am, in any of the post office or any of the bank branches. Your bank where you have your bank account might be having that facility also. Visit your bank branch. Ask them to open a PPF account for yourself. PPF account can be opened with any of the bank or post offices. Minimum amount you can deposit in PPF account, Anjana ma'am, is 500 rupees in a year. Minimum amount. And you have to deposit 500 rupees in your PPF account every year. And maximum amount you can deposit in your PPF account, Anjana ma'am, is 1.50 lakhs. 1.50 lakhs is the maximum limit. And the scheme is for 15 years. You can continue scheme because you can't stop this before 15 years, except in exceptional circumstances. But you can continue with this scheme even after 15 years by extending this scheme for a period of 5 years, another 5 years, and another 5 years. Government of India is still giving 7.50% tax-free return. No tax at all. Anjana ma'am, PPF is a triple E scheme, exempt, no tax at all at any time. So, Bishwa, you should also tell your parents when you go to the home today that PPF is a very good scheme of the Government of India, where you can earn 7.1% tax-free return, and it is compounding every year. Every year it is compounding. Next year you will get the interest not on your principal amount you have deposited, but also on the interest which you have earned. So PPF account is a very good account. You should consider. Then National Savings Certificate. I am talking about the governmental scheme only for the present. National Savings Certificate, NSC. Then third one is Kisan Vikas Patra. Kisan Vikas Patra. And Anjana ma'am, if you have got a girl child at your home or in any of the family, girl child is there, then a very unique scheme is there that is called Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. It is a very good scheme for the girl child. It is for the education of the girl child and for the marriage of the girl child. And Anjana ma'am, Government of India has promised to give highest return in this scheme, highest interest. Even today, government is giving 8.40% interest, which is not in any available in any of the other government scheme. So you can, if you have a girl child at home whose age is below 10, this is the precondition. Age has to be below 10. You please open a Sukanya Samriddhi account for her. And if you have got more than one girl child, you open Sukanya Samriddhi scheme for all of them. The cap is 3 girl child. Maximum 3 girl child you can open an account by recent changes. Then RBI also keep issuing, Anjana ma'am, bonds, tax-free bond and taxable bonds where you can invest. Then you can also invest in government securities, for which RBI has recently launched a website that is called RBI Retail Central. RBI Retail Central, where you can invest. Then the Government of India has also started a channel which is called Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2, where you can invest. I'm just mentioning the name because I don't have time. Anjana ma'am is also looking at her watch and I am also looking at my watch. I want to finish it next 15 minutes. So this is all governmental schemes. And Anjana ma'am, the uniqueness of governmental scheme is there is no risk at all. I don't know about the state government. The state government also might have some schemes which Anjana ma'am will be knowing better than me. What I have just mentioned is the Government of India. Then the uniqueness of all these schemes is there is no risk at all, Anjana ma'am. Whatever government promises you will give you return or interest. When the scheme matures, government will give you maturity amount to you without fail. And I personally feel, Anjana ma'am, a normal middle class, salary class person like you and Mr. Antony, you should invest 15 to 20% of your total investment in governmental schemes. Broad criteria should be around 15 to 20%. Then apart from governmental scheme, there are other schemes where you can invest. And but mind it, except governmental scheme, Anjana ma'am, in all other products, risk is there. Please do understand very carefully. In all investment products except governmental scheme, risk is there. In some products, it might be higher. In other products, it might be moderate. In some products, it might be even minimum, but risk is there. But before that, I want to request all of your participants, please do develop a basket of investment. You should not put all your money in one investment product only, because it is very, very necessary that you should spread your risk by investing in different products. So please do understand that you should invest your money in, you should invest your hard-earned money in different products, because that will give a sense of risk balancing, which is a must for a middle class, salary class person. So the second product available in the market, Anjana ma'am, is property or real estate where we can invest. And I am not an expert, so I will not give any opinion on this. If Mr. Antony or Anjana ma'am has got expertise in this, then you can take a next session for your faculty members and staff members Monday about the property and real estate. But it is one of the products, but risk is there. How much And the uniqueness of property in real estate is that you will need huge money for investment, Anjana ma'am. You can't make investment in property by 5 lakh or 10 lakhs. You will need 50 lakh, 1 crore or 2 crore. Only then you can make normal investment in real estate. Third category of investment product, Anjana ma'am, and I think when I start talking about this, you will have a smile on your face. That is called gold. Investment in gold. And Anjana ma'am, when I start talking about the gold, my female participants have got a different smile on their faces. Very natural. Because female participants and female members of our family have a fascination about gold. And it has been a historical fact, not today, but historically also, gold has been treated as a safety valve for all of us. But nowadays, a very unique government of India scheme is on, Anjana ma'am, for you and all participants, including Mr. Antony, even he should. It is a government of India scheme, not private scheme, Anjana ma'am. The name of the scheme is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. SOVEREIGN. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Very good scheme of the government of India, where you can invest minimum 1 gram gold price, which is fixed by the government, and maximum is 4 kg gold. So the minimum investment can be 1 kg gold price and maximum can be 4 kg gold price. Government of India will give you two benefits under this scheme, Anjana ma'am. First is government is giving 2.5% interest on your deposit. Suppose you invest 1 lakh rupees in sovereign gold bond, then you will get 2,500 rupees interest on your deposit. Second benefit is whatever appreciation in the gold price will also be given to you. Suppose today that you invest in the scheme at the gold price of 50,000, 10 gram, and after 8 years, Anjana ma'am, the gold price become 80,000 for 10 gram. Then the difference between 80,000 and 50,000, that is 30,000, will also be given to you. So there are two benefits. And it is a government scheme, it is not a private scheme. So there is no risk at all. And if you remain in the period of the scheme is 8 years, Anjana ma'am. Period of the scheme is 8 years. And if you remain in the 8 year, during 8 years, you don't sell your gold earlier, then the tax liability will be literally zero. There will be no tax liability because of capital gain benefit. Tax liability will be literally zero. But if you sell your gold before 8 years, maybe after 3 years, maybe after 4 years, then there will be some tax liability according to your other income criteria that you can also think. And in sovereign gold bond, Anjana ma'am, you can invest through digital form, online and offline both. You on online also, Anjana ma'am, government is giving additional incentive of 50 rupees per gram gold. 50 rupees additional incentive government is giving to you if you invest online. But if you invest offline, you can visit your bank branch. Most of the banks are operating this scheme for government of India. So I personally feel 5 to 7% of your investment should be in gold. Lastly, the product available for you is security market. Anjana ma'am, when I start talking about the security market, there may be a chat box messages, 1 or 2. Sir, don't talk about security market. It is a sheer speculation. How market goes up, how market goes down, we don't know. And Anjana ma'am might have invested some money in security market on the advice of some other person, and she might have lost some money. So that is why she is very clear that she will not invest in security market. Yes, there are people like you in the security market. That is absolutely, I do appreciate. But please do understand, in security market, Anjana ma'am, risk is there. Because security market is a purely knowledge-based market. Please do understand, security market is purely knowledge-based market. And those who don't have security market knowledge must not invest into security market directly. This is my personal opinion. Those who don't have knowledge of the security market must not invest into the security market directly. But there is an indirect way of investing in security market that is called mutual funds. Anjana ma'am, last 5-7 minutes about mutual fund and then we will be finishing it up. What is mutual fund? Mutual fund is an indirect way of investing in security market and beyond. What I am using the word beyond because mutual fund are not limited to security market only, Anjana ma'am. There are schemes in the mutual fund where where your money will be invested in government securities. There are schemes in the mutual fund where your money will be invested into gold. There are some schemes in the mutual fund, Anjana ma'am, where your money will be invested into real estate and property. And there are schemes in the mutual fund where your money will be invested into international corporates. Anjana ma'am, sitting at Kerala, sitting at Calicut, you can invest your money in Microsoft, Google, Amazon, big names, big corporate, big interest corporates. You can invest through mutual fund in those big corporates as well. Those funds names are called international funds. So mutual fund is security market and beyond, but of course, majority of the mutual fund scheme relate to security market. There are two uniqueness in the mutual fund, Anjana ma'am. First is, in mutual fund, schemes are available for all category of investors. Whether you can take high risk, one scheme is there. If you are a moderate risk taker, other scheme is available. If you don't want to take high risk mode, even minimum risk, then other scheme available. So for mutual fund, all risk taking, for all investor as per your risk appetite scheme is available. Likewise, Anjana ma'am, in mutual fund schemes are available even for a one-day investment. If you want to invest for one day, one night, even overnight funds are there. If you want to invest for very short period of 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, then liquid funds are there. If you want to invest for 3 months or 6 months, ultra short-term debt funds are available. If you want to invest for 6 months to 1 year, short-term debt funds are available. If you want to invest for more than 1 year, 1 year to 3 years, medium-term debt funds are available. But if you want to invest for longer period, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, then you can then normal debt funds are available and equity funds are available. So for every category of investor, as per his risk appetite and time horizon of investment, mutual fund schemes are available. There are 3 broad categories of security market investment categories are available in the mutual fund. And then, ma'am, first is equity funds. In equity fund, as the name goes, your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporate. Please do understand very clearly. In equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporates. And Anjana ma'am, when your money will be invested in the equity share, risk is very high because always market goes up and down, equity share prices go up and down. So those who don't want to take high risk should not invest in equity fund, but those who can take high risk and those who have got longer horizon, like Anjana ma'am, like Mr. Antony, if your horizon is more than 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, then equity fund are the best bet for you. Because in equity fund, risk is high, but Anjana ma'am, the probability of getting higher return is also there. So those who can take risk, those who want to, those who can invest for longer period, equity fund is the best bet. Second category is debt fund. In debt fund, your money will not be invested into equity share. Please do understand it very carefully. Your money will be given as a loan to the corporates. And when a loan is given to the corporates, of course, the return will be reasonable, but the risk will be lesser. So those who don't want to take high risk, those who are satisfied with the reasonable return, Debt funds are a relatively a good proposition for them. The third category in mutual fund is hybrid fund. In hybrid fund, some of your money will be invested into equity and some of money will go to the debt. So you are balancing both the ends meet. You are wishing a little bit higher return, but at the same time you are balancing your risk as well. So hybrid fund is for those who want to balance their risk. The magic of the mutual fund, Anjana ma'am. Now, if you want to, please open your video, Mr. Anthony, Anjana ma'am, last 5 minutes only. If you can open your, and some few participants as well. If you can open your video, I will be thankful to you. The magic of the mutual fund through SIP. Anjana ma'am, SIP is a magic in mutual fund. Mr. Anthony. SIP is a magic for the mutual fund. SIP, Anjana ma'am, is nothing. Its name is Systematic Investment Plan. SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. It is just like a recurring account. It is just like a recurring account. You open, which you might have opened in bank and post offices. In SIP, you are regularly investing some amount over a period of time. Regularly investing. And the minimum amount, Mr. Anthony, you can invest it 500 rupees only. And maximum, there is no limit. Even for the students, they can start an SIP of even 100 rupees out of their pocket money. And Bishop, I will encourage you and other students, please first understand the concept of mutual fund and SIP. Don't be in hurry. Don't be in great hurry, because ultimately your money. First, understand the concepts and nuances of a mutual fund. Then you think of starting investing in mutual fund through SIP. So SIP is nothing but you are investing a regular amount every year. And if you continue, Mr. Anthony, for longer period, this is the crux of the matter. If you continue for the longer period, magic may happen in your life. I just want to give you one example, Anjana ma'am, and not to you, but to all the participants. And the example is a factual one. It is not a story, Anjana ma'am. It is a facts. But I will not mention the name of the scheme. I will not mention the name of the asset management company, because that will be unfair on my part. That might be indirect marketing of them. That is why I am not mentioning. But facts are there. Please listen, all the participants, please listen it very, very carefully. In 1995, Anjana ma'am, an equity fund was started by a mutual fund company. And a smart investor like Anjana ma'am started an SIP of 10,000 rupees every month. Every month, Anjana ma'am is investing right from 1995 till today, till June. Every month you are investing. How much? Every month you are investing 10,000 rupees per month through SIP in that scheme. And the Anjana ma'am has been very religious and particular in investing, because typically what happens, Anjana ma'am, when market goes up, people start SIPs and investing in the security market. When market goes down, people stop their SIPs. They withdraw their investment. That is a blunder they do, which Anjana ma'am did not do. She religiously investing 10,000 rupees every month, right from 1995 to 2022 June. Every month she is doing without fail. And now magic has happened. Anjana ma'am, can you tell me how much corpus you can have today? Any idea, Anjana ma'am? Any idea how much corpus it can be? Any figure in your mind? If you can unmute yourself and tell.
So 20 lakh?
It has become more than 9 crore rupees.
Oh my God. That's great.
it has become, but 2-3 things are very, very important. First, you are very, very regular and consistent in investing every month 10,000 rupees. Because normally what people are very casual. This month they will do and next month they will skip it. Never do it. And don't bother about the movements of the market. Because Anjana ma'am, market will always go up and down. This is the basic character of the market. Today market is 53, again market may be 60, again market may go to 40. Don't bother about the movement of the market. You should have to be a long-term investor. If you are young like you and Mr. Anthony, you should continue SIP for more than 10, 15, 20 years and magic will happen, rest assured. And now I know people who have started more than one SIP, Anjana ma'am. That is target-oriented SIP. One SIP for higher education of children happening after 25 years. Other SIP for their retirement plan. Third SIP for going on vacation after 5 years. So you can have more than one SIP. And moreover, nowadays in SIP, top-up facility also available. You start a SIP of 1,000 rupees. After 1 year, you can top it up from 1,000 to 1,500 because of increase in your income. So that facility is also now available. So please do consider starting SIP, but not in hurry. First, understand the concept of mutual fund and SIP, and then start it. One more facility in mutual, it is a long topic. And next time when, if Anjana ma'am is interested and faculty members are interested and students are interested, we can have a dedicated session of 2 hours on mutual funds only. Because that is a very, likewise, if Anjana ma'am is interested and students wish, we can have a dedicated session on security market. Then we will discuss about the primary market, secondary market, IPOs, SEBI, NSE, BSE, lot of everything we will discuss about the security market next time, if you are interested. So, other unique feature of the mutual fund is SWP. Anjana ma'am, I have just stated about SIP. Now SWP. SWP is systematic withdrawal plan. It is opposite of SIP. In SIP, Anjana ma'am, we are investing regularly. In SWP, we will be withdrawing regularly. And SWP is basically useful for your retirement life. Suppose Anjana ma'am and Mr. Anthony has been very smart investor. They have developed a corpus of 5 crore rupees for their retirement, and now they have retired. There is no regular income, but they want every month they want some good money. So what they can simply do, they can simply write to the mutual fund where you have a corpus. Please keep transferring a particular, maybe 1 lakh, maybe 1.5 lakhs, maybe 2 lakhs, whatever you want. Please keep transferring this amount from my corpus to my bank account on first every month. And they will do it, which are ultimately your money. So the first benefit, Anjana ma'am, you will get a good amount every month on first in your bank account, and you can continue to enjoy your life even during retirement, even after retirement, without any problem. So SWP is a proposition for your retirement life, but for that precondition is there. You have to develop a huge corpus. Last thing I want to tell all of you, and Anjana ma'am, particularly you and Mr. Anthony and all faculty members, this is our social responsibility, which I am requesting to all of you. Anjana ma'am, there is a menace in our country, which is called Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. Kerala also has been a sufferer as a state. Lot of fraudsters come to you, they will promise you doubling your money in 4 years. They will give you some high return, promise of high return, lot of other incentive. They are all fraud. I am using a very harsh word, Anjana ma'am. They are all fraud. So never invest your hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees, which are not regulated by government or any regulator like SEBI and RBI and IRDA, like those things. And I know, Anjana ma'am, you will not invest because you are an educated person who are normally investing in those schemes. The category or the segment of the society who are not so educated, Anjana ma'am, you are maid servant, you are driver, you are milk vendor, you are peon, you are electrician, you are plumber, Basically, they people invest in such. And so, Anjana ma'am, I will request you and Mr. Antony and all faculty members, please start a campaign in your Calicut area or in your college area through your students, educate and make people aware as much as you can that they should never invest their hard money in Ponzi scheme and chit fund. If they don't have any idea, they can simply put their money in bank and post offices. Anjana ma'am, at least their money will be saved, and that will be a social service, and you will feel satisfied that you have saved hard-earned money of some persons. Lastly, Ms. Anjana ma'am and Mr. Antony, if you can open your video just for 1 minute. Lastly, I want to tell one thing to all of you through you, Mr. Antony. Last thing I want to tell to all of you, Anjana ma'am, prosperity is your right. Every individual has got right to be prosper. We have got right. It is your right to be prosper. We might have born Mr. Antony in a poor family. That is a sheer incident. I might have born into a poor family. But Matthew sir, birth in a poor family is not a curse at all. It is sheer incident. But living as poor and then die as poor, Anjana ma'am, is a curse, which we all can avoid by managing our money in such a manner right from the day we start earning, that we save as much as we can. We should put our savings into the best investment product, on best real return, create wealth and be prosper. And I will pray Almighty that you all be prosper. Thank you very much for giving me time. God bless you all. Anjana ma'am, can you unmute yourself and give your observation first about the session, then we can take it forward.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So actually now the platform is really open for the question and answer section.
Most welcome.
So the participants, if you're having any doubts, you can raise your questions now.
Yes, if anyone have any questions, please raise your hand.
If any have any question,
You can either unmute your mic and us, otherwise you can ask the question in the chat box.
Yes, Mr. Sanjay, you can unmute.
Mr. Sanjay, you can ask your question.
You can unmute yourself.
Please unmute yourself first. Mr. Sanjay.
Okay, Mr. Roshan, Ms. Vidya, any one of you can unmute yourself.
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm Roshan, a BCom student.
Okay.
And to be honest, a wonderful session, sir. It was a real eye-opener from time value of money and portfolio. I mean, diversified investments and all that. It was an eye-opener. However, my question is that if I do not like to deal with income through interest, like, for example, there are certain religions that have restrictions in dealing with interest. Now, what are my options other than real estate and properties?
Yes. Mr. Roshan, I got your point.
Yes.
In mutual fund, Shariat compliant schemes are also there.
Yes.
I got your point. I think you wanted this query, na? In mutual fund, Shariat compliant mutual fund schemes are also there. Please just put Shariat compliant mutual fund schemes and you will get a lot of schemes. You can read the scheme and invest in those schemes. That extended facility is available for my Muslim brothers.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, my dear. Vidya.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Vidya. Thank you
Yeah.
for the wonderful session, so informative. So my question to you is, what kind of saving plan would you suggest the youngsters within the age group of 18 to 22 who are non-earning youngsters? The only source of income is pocket money or something like that. So what plan?
Vidya, I have just mentioned in my session, please start an SIP of 100 rupees out of your pocket money, and if you can start with 500 rupees in any large cap equity fund or an index fund. I will not mention particular fund because that will be unfair on my part, but I'm just giving you a broad category, large cap equity fund or index fund. An SIP of even 500 rupees or even 100 rupees will give you a moral booster when you start earning after down to 2-3 years. By that time, you will have a fair idea of how mutual fund functions, how mutual fund multiply your money, how mutual fund give you real return. So please start. For students, again, I repeat, all the students thinking of start an SIP of 100 rupees out of your pocket money in a good large cap equity fund or an index fund. Any other question? Mr. Anil Yadav was just mentioning more about the SIP. My dear, we don't have time next time. If Mr. Anthony and Anjana ma'am is interested, we will have a dedicated session on mutual fund because this is just the beginning. Thank you, my dear. Any other question from any participants?
So any other have posted one more question.
Yeah.
So he's asking about when we can start PPF, joining in PPF.
PPF, you can start at any time. Even you need not be earning member. PPN can be started by parents as well. But ideally, when you start earning, your first priority should open a PPF account in the first month itself. And minimum amount you can deposit in a year is 500 rupees only. Maximum amount you can deposit is 1.50 lakhs. But again, my request is you must deposit the maximum limit, that is 1.50 lakhs every year. And you should continue even after 15 years. You should not stop the PPF account. You should not close the PPF account even after 15 years. You can extend it by a period of 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, and 5 years. Any other question?
Thank you so much for your time, sir. It was a very informative and knowledgeable session. Now I invite Ashwati ma'am for the vote of thanks.
Sanjay ji, please unmute Mr. Sanjay. He is trying to unmute himself.
Yes, please unmute.
He sent a message chat box that I am not able to unmute myself.
Please unmute yourself.
Mr. Sanjay, now you can unmute. Okay, yeah, ma'am, you continue now. No, sir, I can't. Sanjay ji, just see to it.
Yes, I don't know. So you can submit your question through the chat box.
Or you can put your question in chat box, my dear.
Sir, it's already there. He has already posted the question.
What is the question?
So he's asking whether you can tell him a fund for long term.
No. I honestly speaking, this is my limitation, my dear Sanjay. I can't mention any particular fund because that will be unfair on my part to mention a particular fund. I just mentioned 4 websites. Please note it down, including Mr. Anthony and Anjana ma'am. 4 very useful websites. Of course, there are hundreds of websites, but first is AMFI website, AMFI website, which has got a lot of material on mutual funds. Then others are private websites, and I am not marketing them, but they are very useful, I personally feel. First one is Value Research. Mr. Anthony, you should also note it down. And Anjana ma'am, Value Research. Then third one is Money Control. And last one is ET Money, Economic Times Money. You just go through the websites. There are short videos also. You see the videos, get the graphs of the mutual funds, how they function, what mutual funds are. Only then you can think of starting investment in mutual fund, and preferably through SIP. Yeah, ma'am, now you can continue.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, please continue.
The most honorable chief guest, head of the department, members of teaching faculty, and dear participants, a bright morning to all. It's almost afternoon, I'm sorry. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose vote of thanks on the first national webinar conducted by the Department of Business Management in this academic year. On behalf of the Department of Business Management from St. Joseph's College, Devagiri, I extend hearty gratitude to Mr. Suryakant Sharma, the former DGM, SEBI. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invite and being with us and sharing your knowledge and insights. Thank you. Next, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our head of the Department of Business Management, Mr. Manu Anthony, for his solid support and timely monitoring in every aspect of arranging this webinar. Thank you, sir. I also give my sincere thanks to Ms. Anjana P. Raj, coordinator of the webinar, for organizing this event and making it successful even in a very short time. I would also like to mention our profound sense of appreciation to Dr. Sanjay Agarwal on helping us in coordinating the event. I also extend thanks to our student, Ms. Hawa Misbah from BCom Professional Batch for her initiative in hosting the event. Last but not the least, I would also like to thank all my colleagues from Department of Business Management and the participants of the event for their cooperation and support in making the event a successful one. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you on my behalf and on behalf of MFI. I am also thankful to all of you, particularly Anjana ma'am and Mr. Antony, for taking this initiative in your college. And we would be very happy to have it a continued relationship with your college for future programs as well. And I am also thankful to Mr. Dr. Sanjay Agarwal for coordinating this program with your college. And top of it, and not the last, but all the participants who have taken interest. And I will be very satisfied and contented if they have got some idea about their personal finance management. Please do think seriously about your personal finance management, because Anjana ma'am, it is a must for all of us that we should think about the personal finance management. So I am thankful to all of you for taking this initiative in your college, and Dr. Sanjay Agarwal for coordinating this event. Thank you very much. God bless you all. And of course, Sonu Kumarji, who has been my partner in joining most of my program. Thank you very much.
Okay, from my side, I'm also thankful to the keynote speaker, Dr. Manu Anthony, Dr. Anjana, and all the faculty members, those who have joined from St. Joseph College, from Kerala and Pan India. And I'm also thankful to all the participants to join this program and make this event successful. Kindly give your valuable feedback to us, and you will receive your certificate within 2 days' time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Dr. Manu, can you give your feedback? Manu Anthony.
Yeah, yes, sir. First of all, let me thank on my personal note our resource person Suryakanji, and of course to you as well, Dr. Sanjay. In fact, I was a little bit apprehensive about the contents, because most of the students would be participating. They have no idea about what could be an investment option for them. And like you have already mentioned, they must not having the investments, they don't be having money at all. But I insisted that they should join, because this is how you would work on your financials and this is how you could progress. And definitely, I'm really satisfied the way Suryakanji have taken over the session. And I'm really looking forward to have more sessions and more association with AMFI in the future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.